Mario RPG, the other Mario successful and popular Mario RPG series is Mario and Luigi, mostly being confined to the handheld consoles. Well, this series really saw a tragic downfall. So yeah, we'll be going over every Paper Mario, not Mario, Paper Mario series, Mario and Luigi game in the series by sales, and see what went wrong. Coming out last place in Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. This was an unnecessary remake that released well past the 3DS's lifespan. Considering that the Switch already existed, why they put this on the 3DS in the first place? They could have easily put both Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story and of course the Superstar remake on the Switch as well so more people can play it. And this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think Alpha Dream would still been in SOP if this game was released on the Switch. Because again, you can't play DS games on the Switch. And it would have been a major seller for the Switch. So, yeah, this game was the game that made Alpha Dream went bankrupt. Coming in at second to last place is Bowser's The Superstar Saga Remake. Another game. I actually have this game, but it's another game that basically just nobody bought. Again, this game had more of a draw because again, you can't really play Superstar Saga on the 3DS. But again, this should have been released on the Switch, and Alpha Dream is just why did they put this on the 3DS instead of the Switch. Next is Paper Jam. This is another game that the Switch didn't exist at the time, but again, this game was critically panned for being boring and bland. Even though they include Paper Mario, well, guess what? They probably must have included all those restrictions that they put on Paper Mario in this game, because this game didn't really have much soul put into it, thus being the worst selling non-remake Mario and Luigi game. Next is Partners in Time. This game is underrated, but it is the second worst selling entry in the series, barring the remakes. Partners in Time is considered one of the weaker entries in the series. Despite releasing so early to the 3DS's lifespan, the game only sold 1.7 million copies. You would think that this game would have had more legs because it's a Mario game, but no, this game was probably too off-putting for many people, as this game was much more darker than many others. Next is Mario Luigi Paper Superstar Saga. This game is considered a pretty good game. It released on the Game Boy Advance in 2003, and again, it released a year before the DS. So it did pretty well for a game that released a year before the DS. So yeah. Next is Mario Luigi Dream Team. So Dream Team is the second best-selling entry in the entire series. Again, this game is pretty well received by most of the fan base, and basically, is considered one of the best entries in the entire series. The only problem is Dream Team is very long, being the longest entry in the entire series. And it's then still sold 2.6 million copies. So there was definitely a big fan base for Mario Luigi Dream Team, and still a small cult following for this game. And of course, with no surprise, the best-selling entry in the series is Bowser's Inside Story. Everybody says this is the best entry, except for people who like Dream Team more and Superstar Saga more, which is very few people. Most people say that this is the best entry in the series. They made Farfel the main villain and stuff. It had continuity with the other games in the series, and it was basically considered the best entry in the Mario Luigi series. So that's it for the Mario. And so, what went wrong with the Mario Luigi series? Well, Mario Luigi basically lost its feel. Again, the DS sold more than the 3DS, so this is why Dream Team sold less than Bowser's Inside Story, and why, of course, Superstar Saga sold less than Bowser's Inside Story, and Dream Team, because again, it released on a console that really only people bought for Pokemon, was the Game Boy Advance. And again, Partners in Time released too early in the console's lifespan, which is of course a DS, and didn't really have good legs at all, and also was a relatively new series that was still trying to get its groove on. And of course, ever since Paper Jam, the Paper Mario Luigi series has basically become irrelevant and a dead franchise. Will we see this entire series come back? Well, maybe we might see it by a new developer. There is still a lot of developers that I think would probably want to make a Mario Luigi game, but a Switch Mario Luigi game probably may not happen, considering how horribly Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser's Jr.'s Journey sold. So, yep. So the last two games in the entry are the reasons why Alpha Dream went bankrupt. And yeah, we might not be seeing an entry in the series for a long time. But again, they might bring a random studio that we never heard of before to make new entries in the series, kind of like Mario Party. And we'll talk about Mario Party some other day. Goodbye.